Hello guys, welcome back. In I hope you watched the previous video. In the previous video, we analyzed what is high availability and what is downtime with a good real-time example. Now, in this video, let us learn how can we achieve this high availability in cloud, in particularly in AWS. So, before knowing about how to achieve this high availability, so let us concentrate with whatever the technical terms that we need to learn before knowing that. So the first term is redundancy. So now the question is, what is this redundancy, sir? Redundancy is nothing but duplication. Where do we create duplicates, sir? Let's say if I want multiple servers with the same application, then what do we do, sir? We simply host same application in multiple servers. Is it? Yeah. So this redundancy is nothing but that hosting multiple servers. So redundancy is nothing but duplication. What is this redundancy, sir? Redundancy is nothing but duplication. Sir, can you provide me an example for this redundancy? Yeah. Creating multiple servers with same application. What? With the same application. We are creating multiple servers with same application. That is redundancy. This is an important point. This is a technical term that you need to remember. What is this? Redundancy. Redundancy is nothing but duplication. Creating multiple servers with same application is called redundancy. Let's say I hosted more than one server for my application's high availability. So let's say I hosted more than one server. This is a server and this is another server. This is another server. Like this, I hosted multiple servers for my application. Let's say three. I hosted three applications. Now, can you tell me each and every server has its own IP address? Is it? Yeah. Every server has its own IP address. Okay. Now, I have multiple clients, right? I have clients. So now my question is that which IP address, which IP address do I need to give to my client? So since I'm having multiple servers, every server has its own IP address. Which IP address do I need to give to my client? Do I need to give only particular server's IP address or the combination, the common distributor's IP address? I need to provide a common distributor IP address where the distributor task is nothing but to distribute the traffic. The distributor task is to distribute the traffic. So let's say there is a distributor in between my clients and my server. So this is the distributor, let's say. Clients are nothing but they also request by using a laptop, right? Or else you can say system, right? So let me draw this as well. So now there is a common distributor present in between my clients and server, where this common distributor can distribute the traffic between my client and my servers based on the traffic and based on some certain method. Now I require a common distributor. I hope most of the students who watched my previous videos, they already got an idea of who is this common distributor. Yes, whatever you thinking is correct, I will reveal the answer. This common distributor is nothing but, we call this common distributor in AWS as, what do we call is, we call this common distributor as load balancer. What do we call this common distributor, sir? Load balancer. So what this person do, what this load balancer will do? So based on the traffic, this load balancer, what it will do? It will send the traffic. Let's say client requested what, this load balancer. So based on the traffic, this load balancer will send the request to server, first server or second server or, now this load balancer acts as a distributor who distributes the traffic which was given by client, and it was distributed to servers which are available based on what, a certain method. So what is that method? Based on round robin method. I hope most of the audience who watched my previous videos will get back the concept of this round robin method. This is certain method where this load balancer used to distribute the traffic among the servers which are present. Okay, so now this load balancer will provide me a DNS. Similarly, like example, let me provide you an example DNS. What is that? The example will be like, let's say google.com. Google.com. Let's say it's an example only. So in similar way, this load balancer will provide me a DNS. So I need to provide this DNS to my client. I need to provide this DNS to my client. If whenever my client hits this DNS, what happens? The traffic which was coming from the client, which was redirected to one of my web servers by using which method, sir? Round robin method. So this load balancer will distribute the traffic among one of the servers based on this method. Let's say my server is not working. Now, what does my load balancer do? How does it knows that particular server is not working? So this load balancer must need to monitor, right? Yes. This load balancer must need to monitor, must need to monitor whatever the servers which are present. So this load balancer must need to monitor whatever the servers which are present and need to check the health of the servers. How does this load balancer checks the health of the servers, sir? How does this load balancer check the health of the servers? This load balancer can check the health of the servers by using health checks. By using health checks. This load balancer can monitor this, what I say, this load balancer can monitor the server's health by using health checks. Load balancer can monitor the server's health by using what? Health checks. Health checks. By using health checks, this server can able to monitor the load balance. This load balancer can able to monitor the server's health. Based on every 30 seconds interval, this load balancer, what are the load balancer is there, right? That will send a request and check the response is getting or not from these servers. What are the servers we have? From these servers, this load balancer checks what are the response that is getting or not. In this way, load balancer detects the server failure. Now, how do this load balancer will detect? So based on the response provided by the servers, right? So what are the responses possible, sir? So what are the responses possible? The responses are sent. If you open any web page, if we open any web page, how the response will be, sir? The response will be like, if if we got the if we got the website, then the status code, whatever the status code will be 200 for that website. The status code for that website, if it is working good, if it is working well, the it is responding correctly, then let's say the website is working, then the status code will be 200. Now, sir, most of the cases, in sometimes we watch 404 error, right? Yeah. So if you request for some web page, you got 404 error. What is that 404 code indicates, sir? What is that 404 status code indicates, sir? That 404 status code indicates page not found. What is that? Page not found. This is the thing which indicates 404. What is the 404 status code? Indicates page not found. If you try for a website, but you are getting this 404, then the status code indicates page not found. In sometimes, if client requests, then it may also happens that internal server error may also occur sometimes. So at the time, what is the status code we got? We got 500. So from this, what we can conclude, sir? What we can conclude? If load balancer requests this server, then the response provided by the server is 200. Then can I say the status code that this load balancer get is 200? Then can I say this server is working? Yeah. So HTTP request is success. HTTP request is success when success code is 200. HTTP request is success when success code is 200. In simple, we can say HTTP success code is 200. What is the success code of HTTP is a question. Then the answer is 200. 200 is the success code of HTTP. Now I got another doubt, that do my load balancer is monitoring my server or application? So in these web servers, I have applications, right? There an app is there in it. In the same way, there is an app in this as well, and there is an app in this as well. Now
My question is, does my load balancer will monitor my server or my application is the question. So let us analyze which monitoring is best. Let's say load balancer, what are the load balancer we have that monitors my server. Then in this case, what happens, sir? Now my server is working and my application is working. So that's nice, right? I got my response as server is working. So my client can able to get the response. In sometimes it happens, right? Server will work, but application don't work. Application which is present in the server will not work. In that cases, if this load balancer, whatever the load balancer we have that checks this server status, then what this load balancer will think? It will think like server is working, so application is also working. The request which was sending by the client will be sent to the application, but the application is not working. So does this load balancer get any response? No. So can this client get any response? No. So it is not good to monitor server. Then what is the best way, sir? What is the best thing to monitor by the load balancer? Application. Load balancer need to monitor the application. Whenever this load balancer monitors this application, in that case, whenever application fails, this load balancer will get a status code which is not 200. So in that case, this load balancer thing, this application is not working. So this application is not working. In that time, this load balancer will think, this application is unhealthy. This application is unhealthy. At that time, what this load balancer will do? Whenever you found any application which is unhealthy, at the time to where the request need to be routed, request need to be routed to another server. So what do we call that, sir? What do we call that? We call that with another technical term. Just need to remember this. What is that? Failover. What is that? Failover. So now the question is, what is this failover? Now again the question is, what is this failover? If one server goes down, if what is this failover, sir? This failover is nothing but if one server goes down. If one server goes down, then other server will take the request. Other server will take the request. So this is the failover. What is failover, sir? When one server goes down, then other server will take the request. This is nothing but the failover. So this is the important point you need to remember. So what is failover? If one server goes down, then other server will take the request. That we can say it as failover. So these are the technical terms you need to remember to analyze the high availability. What are the technical terms, sir? To analyze and to achieve high availability, you need to remember what is this redundancy and what is this monitoring and what is this failover. So these are the key things that you need to remember while achieving or checking the architecture about high availability. So if you want to check, now the question is, if I want to check any architecture's high availability, I want to check whether a architecture is highly available or not. Then what are the things that I need to check, sir? I need to check redundancy, monitoring, and failover. So redundancy, monitoring and failure. If I give you architecture to check high availability, what you need to check? You need to check at first redundancy. So what is this redundancy? Redundancy is nothing but check if there are multiple servers, multiple application servers are hosted or not. If multiple application servers are hosted, then you can say that is redundant architecture. That is redundant architecture. Sir, you are telling redundancy provides me high availability. Why do you say this redundancy providing me high availability, sir? Why are you saying like this? If there is no, if there is only, can I tell, there is only one server, do, does that single server will provide me high availability? No, right? If multiple clients can request, then more than the capacity of single server, then what happens? My availability gonna damage. My availability will be decreases and leads to downtime. So it is very essential for my web server to host in multiple multiple servers, to host my application in multiple server. What do we say that in cloud? That is nothing but redundancy. So we need redundancy to have this high availability. Okay. Sir, you also said that monitoring as well as failover is also needed to check the high availability. Why do we need this monitoring, sir? If there is no monitoring, then we get high availability, sir? No. If we do not have monitoring, it leads to it leads to traffic will the client's traffic sent to unhealthy servers. What happened when we do not monitor, when we do not do monitoring by using load balancer? Then what happens? What are the requests which was given by the client? This load balancer will send that request to the unhealthy application. So at that time, this unhealthy application won't provide the response and it will lead to downtime. So it is required for me, monitoring is also required for me. So whenever the application is not available, then what this load balancer need to do? It needs to route the traffic to where another server. So what do we call that? We call that as failover. We call that as failover. So that is also required to get high availability. When one application is failed, one application is not working, one application is unhealthy, then the traffic must be routed to another application. That is nothing but failover. That failover is required to achieve this high availability. So now let us say my architecture have multiple applications. That is nothing but it is having redundancy, and this load balancer will monitor all the applications. So that means it also, my architecture is also providing me the monitoring service as well. And whenever if a single application fails, then it routes traffic to another application. That is nothing but it also achieves the failover. Now let's go with another scenario. That is, if I say, if I assume, if I just assume my server one, that is my server one where my application holds was not working, failure, and my server 2 is also unhealthy, and my server 3 is also unhealthy. Then what happens, sir? Then what happens? To where my client request will go? To nothing. There is no server available, right? So it is impossible. It is impossible. Now what happens? It is impossible for this load balancer to route the traffic. Now, now the question. Now again, I have a question. Now, how, how, now you can tell me how can I increase some servers automatically? So here what I need to do, I need to increase my servers automatically whenever, whenever based on the traffic, or else you can say if my server failure happens based on that, or else it's better to say based on the load or traffic, I need servers. Based on the low traffic, I need to increase the servers. How to do this? So for the audience who watched my previous videos, I think you got an idea about how to solve this issue. So let me provide you how to solve this issue. You can solve this issue by using auto scaling group. By using what? Auto scaling group. So simply you need to provide an auto scaling group for these servers. For these servers, you need to provide an auto scaling group. In short, we can write that auto scaling group as ASG, auto scaling group. In AWS, we can overcome that problem. We can overcome the failure of all my application servers by using auto scaling group. In this auto scaling group, we need to set how many minimum servers need to be running and how many maximum servers need to be running. I'm going to tell you that in practical lab in future. Just know what is the theory. That's enough for you for today. In future, you can able to implement it very clearly. So what this auto scaling group will do, sir? This will just take matrices of how many minimum servers need to be maintained and how many maximum servers need to be maintained. Based on that, these application servers will be scale out and scale in happens. So by using this auto scaling, what happens? By using this auto scaling, what happens? There is zero tolerance will be provided by my application servers. So what is this zero tolerance, sir? Unavailability, we can say it as. So if all my applications will go down, then it leads to zero tolerance. So what do we say that? Zero downtime. So whenever there is no downtime, whenever there is no downtime, whenever there is zero downtime, what is that, sir? Zero downtime. Zero downtime. So what do we say that zero downtime? What do we say that zero downtime in cloud, sir? We say that zero downtime as fault tolerance. Fault tolerance. We can even say this zero downtime in cloud as zero tolerance. So we can even say this as zero tolerance or else fault tolerance. This is what fault tolerance is. That means no downtime. That means no downtime. How do I achieve this no downtime? How do I achieve this fault tolerance? By using what? Auto scaling. How do I achieve this auto scaling in cloud? By using auto scaling group, we provide certain metrics that minimum I require these many servers and maximum I require these many servers. In this way, we can achieve what? High availability in my architecture. You can see in my architecture, I'm having redundancy. That is nothing but multiple application servers I have, and my load balancer is even checking and monitoring by using monitoring my application servers by using health checks. And whenever if any application goes down, if any application is unhealthy, then what happens? My traffic is routed to another application that is nothing but achieving failover. If all my servers goes down, then based on the auto scaling group, then my another application server will automatically generated, and it even achieves, this architecture is even achieving me zero downtime, zero tolerance, that is nothing but fault tolerance as well. So in this way we can achieve our high availability in our architecture in AWS, in cloud as well. In most of the interviews they'll ask you a question, that is, what does this load balancer will monitor? This load balancer will monitor your server or your application. Then in that case you need to tell this load balancer will monitors application. This load balancer will monitor the application. So okay, so I hope you understood this video, how to achieve this high availability in AWS, or else you can say in cloud. In this video, I hope you understood what is redundancy and what are the status codes, and how to create this highly available architecture, and what is the failover, and what is monitoring, how to get the zero tolerance, and what is this auto scaling group, and how does this load balancer will send the traffic to the servers. All the things you have a good idea, I think so, in this by this video. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. So see you back in the next video. Until then, bye bye. Thanks for watching my video. See you back.